Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In today's episode I'll be teaching you how to make the cups of this bralette top. Like, comment and subscribe. Let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and in today's episode we are crocheting this bralette top for a larger size. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started. Hello everyone, so welcome back to my channel, and in today's episode we are making these bra caps for a larger size. Hope you enjoy the tutorial. Let's get started. So I'm using medium weight yarn, acrylic yarn, and this crochet hook. I'm using 3.5 millimeter hook, and let's get started. So this one is the first cap, and this one is for larger size, and I shall start by making a slip knot. So I'm going to start by making a slip knot. Different people make their slip knot in different ways. This is how I make mine, and I'm going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is it. This is a chain of 20. This is a chain of 20, and I'm going to make a single crochet, that is chain through, yarn over, chain through 2, so I'm doing single crochet stitch, and I'm going to do single crochet stitch until the end of the row. Let's meet at the end of the row. I'm at the end of the row, and this is how my crochet looks like, and I'm going to chain 1 and then turn my work. Then I'm going to repeat doing single crochet till this point. Yeah, I'm going to be doing single crochet. So I chain through 1, yarn over, chain through. So I'm doing single crochet until that other end. Then I will tell you what I'm going to do so that it can form the triangular shape. As you can see, my other cap, it has the triangular shape. So let's meet at this point. Yeah, you do your single crochet until this point, then we will meet and I will give instruction on what I'm going to do. So I've reached that point I told you, and at this center, I'm going to be doing 3 single crochets in the same stitch. So I'm going to do 3 single crochet because it's the center. This one is the first single crochet, the second single crochet, and the third single crochet. Then I will continue doing my single crochets in this other side until this point. So after chaining 3 single crochet in the same, so the purpose of making 3 single stitches in the same stitch is to ensure that our work gets this triangular shape. As you can see my other bralette top, it has the triangular shape. So we chain 3 at this point to ensure that our bralette top has the triangular shape. So after chaining 3 single stitches in the same stitch, I'm going to work other single crochet at this other point until this point where I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work and repeat the process. So I will continue doing single crochet, let's work single crochets. Let's meet at the end of the row. I have like 3 stitches remaining, and I will work single crochets on them. Hope you can see. I'm at the end of the row and I'm going to chain 1. Then I will turn my work to this point, and to ensure there is a smooth curve, like to ensure that this one is smooth, my cap has a smooth edge like this, I will be doing my first single crochet at this point, the beginning of this point, and I will chain through yarn over, and I'm going to work out my single crochets until this point where I'm going to be chaining 3 at the center. So we will work on the single crochet. So I'm doing my single crochets until I reach the center point where I'm going to be chaining 3. I'm emphasizing where you chain 3 in the same stitch to ensure that you have a triangular shape, because we want this cap to be triangle in shape. So I'm still doing my single crochets. I'm still working on my single crochet, so I will continue working my single crochets. I will work on my single crochets. Then this is my center, so I'm going to be doing 3 single crochets in the same stitch to ensure that there is the triangular shape. So this one is the first single, the second, and the third. So I will continue working this other side, I'm going to do other single crochets until this point where we'll chain one and then turn my work, and I will repeat the process. So you hope you have the key points. The key point in this tutorial is at the center of this point you chain 3 so that you can achieve the triangular shape, and at these both ends you will be chaining 1, turn your work, and you repeat the single crochets until this point, like that. Like we want the cup to be triangular in shape. This one is for the bigger size, so you just use a tape measure to adjust the size. As you can see, this cup, it's triangular in shape, so we want the second one also to be in triangular in shape. And for you to achieve this triangular shape, you have to do 3 single crochets at the center, 3 single crochets at the center, then you chain single crochets until this point, the end of the row. You chain 1, turn your work, repeat single crochets 3 at the center. You come at like you're crocheting like this, like a V. So for you to achieve the triangular shape, you need to do 3 single crochets at this point. So let's continue working on our second bralette cap. So after doing the 3 single crochets in the same stitch, I'm going to repeat doing 1 single crochet in every stitch. So I'm doing single crochets until the end of the row. Let's meet at this point, or let me work on it. So I'm already at the end of the row, and I'm going to chain 1, then I turn my work, and I will repeat doing single crochets until this point where we'll do 3 single crochets in the same stitch. Hope you have understood whatever I'm trying to say. And I will start at this point, do my single crochet, my second single crochet, and we will do single crochets until this point. So let's meet at this point, or you can repeat your work. You can do like, how many rows are this? You can do until it has the same size as this one. So you are going to repeat this process until you have a bigger cup like this one, and we will come back to do the attachment. So hope you have the instructions clearly. So the instructions are, at this point you chain 1, turn your work, do single crochets until you reach this center, and at this center you will chain 3 single crochets in the same stitch. Continue doing your work until this point. At the end of the row, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you repeat single crochets until this point, the center. You chain 3 in the same stitch, the center of the stitch. You then chain until this point. So you're going to repeat that process until you've made like 10 rows, and you ensure that we are measuring the first one. The first cup is of the same size as the second. Let's meet at that time. Hope you have understood everything. In case you have any comments, you can ask, and I will be back after I'm done with my 10 rows. Bye bye. I'm going to be back just a few minutes. Hope you have understood everything. Then I will be back. We do the attachment and we do the strings. Hello guys, so welcome back. I'm done with my 2 cups, as you can see, and I bought, this was a red yarn, but after buying it I came to realize that it had different shades, but I had to work with it because this was for tutorial, and I decided, let me do the tutorial. I will come to correct the mistakes later, but I'm still liking it the way it is. As you can see, the shape is amazing. If I had known earlier that it has different shades, I could have done something else, but no problem. So we are going to attach these 2 caps. So I will be showing you how to attach, but before we attach, I'm going to chain until this point. First, I do my first thread string, then I will attach. Here, these are my 2 bralette. Let me show you. So I'm going to do a single crochet until the center, this center, and at that center I'm going to start making my strings. Let's meet at that point. I'm almost there, and I've decided, let me come back so that you can work together. So I'm going to be doing a single crochet until the center, and for you to do a single crochet, you chain through, yarn over. There are 2 loops, then you pull through, you chain through, yarn over, 1, 2, you pull through. So I'm almost at the center. So for this bralette top, I'm going to be doing 2 threads. So I'm at the center, and I will start working on my string, and I'm going to count like 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I will chain the correct length of the string, and I will be back again. As you can see, I think this one is appropriate height, because this string I will tie it on my neck. So after that, I will come and do a slip stitch. So for those who don't know to make a slip stitch, let me zoom in so that you can clearly see. So for those who don't know how to make a slip stitch or loop stitch, so it depends. Some people call it slip stitch, other people call it loop stitch. So if you don't know how to make a loop stitch, hope you can see, you're going to chain through this point, then you yarn over. We have 2 loops, then you pull. That is what is a loop stitch, and you're going to do your loop stitch. You're going to make a loop stitch until this point. So hope you have understood everything. So you make a loop stitch on the string, because we don't want our string to be bulky. Yeah, and as you can see, this one is for larger bralette tops, but you can still use the same formula for even the smaller bralette. So this one is for people with a big bust. Then let's work on loop stitch until this point, then we will meet at that point, and I will explain to you what we do next. As you can see, I'm done doing my loop stitch on my string, and I'm at this point. So let me zoom out so that you can see. So I'm at that point. So I want to do the attachments. So the first thing, because okay, I don't have any stitch markers, but I'm going to use this different yarn because it's of another color as stitch markers, because I don't have them right now. I add them. So I'm going to measure to my caps should be like this. Then I decide maybe I will make some loop stitches until this point. So I'm going to touch them like this. Then, as I have told you, I don't have any stitch markers, so I'm going to use a yarn of different color. So I will use this one. Then I'm going to I'm going to use this one as a stitch marker. So please, this one is a stitch marker for today. Next episode I will be having stitch markers. Next episode I will be having my stitch markers ready. So I can just pull this thread, I can pull one side and remove the needle. So this is the point where I will start doing my loop stitches. Because I don't have a stitch marker, that's why I'm using that yarn. Then I will come and continue doing I will do loop stitches until this point where I'll start attaching. So for now I will continue doing my loop stitches. Hope you remember how to make loop stitches. You yarn over, you pull through. It's very simple, it's easy. So whatever I'm doing, loop stitches until the point with stitch markers. And I'm not using stitch markers, I'm using thread of another color because I don't have stitch markers right now. But next, God willing, next episode I will be having the stitch markers, but for now you have to bear. So I'm going to work I'm going to be working loop stitches until this point, which is marked with a thread of different color. The thread of different color is used as, so the ends of this we are going to use a loop stitch. So we'll work until I'm almost at that point. I'm almost there. I'm doing loop stitches. This one is loop stitches, so I'm using loop stitches at the edge. So after I'm done, so as you can see, so at this point I'm going to yarn and yarn. Hope you can see. So I'm going to make my crochet hook, and then I will remove the stitch marker like that. Then I will, hope you can see whatever I'm trying to do. So I will yarn and do a loop stitch. So for joining, I'm going to be chaining through these 2 points. So the stitch at this point and the stitch at this point, then I do a loop stitch like that. Then I do my loop stitch like that, then a loop stitch. I'm going to be chaining through both caps, then I do a loop stitch, both caps, then a loop stitch, both caps, then a loop stitch both caps, then a loop stitch, both caps, then a loop stitch, then I'm going to chain one, and this is how it looks like. I'm done attaching both caps, like you can see how smooth my caps are. Then after chaining one, I will come at this point, and so I will work on this. Now I'm going to work on this cap alone because it doesn't have a string at this point. So I'm going to do loop stitches until this point where I will make my string. Then I come back with loop stitches until this point. Hope everything is clear. So this is after attaching. As you can see, we might have different shades of red, but we are still, this tutorial, I know it's clearly visible. So the instruction are, we do the strings of the first bralette, then we do loop stitches until this point. We use a stitch marker to identify the point that we'll start doing loop stitches on both sides. As you can see, let me zoom in so that you can clearly see. As you can see, attachment of the two caps, it's very clean, even you cannot notice. Yeah, that is first attachment. Then I'm going to do loop stitches at this other, let me zoom out. Then I'm going to do attachment. I'm going to do loop stitches at this stitch until this end, this center, where I'm going to start attaching my string. Hope everything is clear. So let's work. Let me show you. As you can see, it's very clear. So I'm going to do loop stitches one side. Oh, we are working loop stitches. So I will work my loop stitches until this point. Let's meet at that point so that you can start our strings. So I'm back after working my loop stitches. These one are loop stitches. Those one are loop stitches. So I'm back after working my loop stitches, and I will start making the string for this other end. So I will chain the same height as this one, then I will repeat the process of coming back with loop stitches. So I'm going to chain. If some people use tape measure, but for today I don't have the tape measure. I'm going to count my stitches. So I'm counting them, and I will count them until I have the same height as this one. Then I will do the loop stitches and come do loop stitches at this other point, so that our whole finishing edge can have loop stitches. So for the finishing, for that smooth, so I just like loop stitches at the edge. I don't know why, but that is what we are going to use. So I'm going to chain, then I will do repeat as this other side, doing loop stitches, and I will do loop stitches until this point. So let me work on it. Let me, and as you can see, attachment was so smooth, even nobody can notice that I did my attachment at this point, like I joined this point, because joining these two bralette part was very smooth, all thanks to rope stitches. And that's why I like rope stitches. So let me work on whatever I was telling you, then we will meet at different point. So yeah, remember, I just bought yarn and I noticed that it's different shades, and I decided I can't stop this tutorial, and going to buy another yarn could take much time. So I decided, I just said in today's episode, on this day I will record a tutorial. I can't wait, and it's on a Sunday, I'm free. So that's why I'm using yarn of different shades. And for that effort, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You see, I'm doing my best to make sure you have the tutorials hard enough. So you support me by liking, commenting, subscribing, suggesting which stitch, what should we crochet next. But I'm thinking on my next tutorial, which will be released before the end of the week, I'm working on a raffle art tutorial, so you can check on it. You can check if you have viewed this very late, maybe I will have done it, and you can check it. So I'm working on raffle art, then a shrug, so don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss out. So I'm speaking, I'm talking, and that's not the business of the day. So I'm going to work on my string. Then after working on my string, I will come back with loop stitches. So I'm going to, because I've thought and I don't remember how many stitches I've counted, so I'm going to do like this so that I can be measuring. I can use this other one so that I know the correct height, because I can't redo these stitches, so I will use that method. So let's meet at the, so I'm back and we are still working on the loop stitches. We will work the loop stitches till this point. So do your loop stitches, and I'm back to remind you how to do your loop stitches. And for you to be able to do your loop stitches, you yarn over, you chain through. I'm emphasizing because I want this video to be of help. So if you want to do the loop stitches, you chain through this point, yarn over, then you have 2 stitches, then you pull through this one. So it's very simple. You chain through this stitch, you yarn over, then you have 2 stitches, you pull through this one. So that's how you do your loop stitch. Let's work the loop stitch until this point, then we will continue. So we will still do loop stitch until this point. Hope you remember how to do loop stitch. So we are still doing loop stitch. Sorry. So I will work loop stitch till the end. Let's meet at the end. So I'm back, my people, and this is the caps part. For those who want theirs to be a bikini set, you can just ensure this edge is straight and make a point of attaching the strings. You just make another strings and you will have a bikini set like the one above. So for those who want their bikini set, you can just ensure this edge has a smooth flow by making a single crochet at this point and making another string at this point, for those who want to have a bikini set. But I want mine to have to be like a crop top. I want mine to cover some part of this stomach, and that's why I will continue. If you want yours, for those who want theirs to cover half of this stomach, that is crop top size. We are going to continue by chaining like 1, 2. Let us chain 20, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I've chained 20 because I want mine to cover some part of my back, and I will do single crochets until this point. So let me remind you single crochet. So if you want to remember single crochet, you yarn over, chain through 2. So I'm going to work single crochet, you chain through, yarn over, we have 2 loops, then you chain through, yarn over, we have 2 loops, then you chain through. That is single crochet. So I will be doing my single crochet from this point to this end, and when I reach at this end I will give you the instruction and we'll continue like that. So do your single crochet from this point, this point, this point, this point, then I will be back to give more instructions. I'm back. I'm almost at the end of the row, and I'm going to chain equal chains as I had done at this point. So if you are using a tape measure, you're going to chain same amount. So me, I was counting my stitches, and I'm going to count like 20 because this bralette top is for a bigger person. As you can see, when the cups are very big, so this tutorial is for people, yeah. So you can use your measurement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And after I'm done with my 20 stitch chains, I will, let me zoom in so that you can see. So after I'm done with my 20 stitches, I'm going to repeat the process of doing a single crochet, and I will do single crochet until the end, this point. So I'm going to do my single crochet. So the remaining part, so you're going to work single crochets. Let me give instruction. Let me zoom out first so that you can see clearly. So this is our bralette top, and it's already attached, as you can see. So I'm going to be working, this one is my, so I will be working my single crochets from this point. I chain through, I chain through, I chain through until this point, and after that I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and work another single crochet until this other end, and I will chain 1, turn my work, I work like that. So I'm working the single crochets until you have the appropriate length, the length of the length of the creeve, if you want your, because I've told you for this I'm going to measure so that it can cover some part of my stomach. So you're going to work single crochets until you have the height that you want. Like different people might say it's above the navel, other people might say I want my crop top, my bralette top to be below the navel. So it depends on you. So you're going to be doing single crochet like that. From this point to this point, you chain 1, turn your work, repeat the process until you have the correct height. Let's meet at that time. Remember, you're going to be doing single crochets, but you can use any other stitch that you want because it's the same thing. So let's meet after I'm done with like 2 or 3 rows so that I can continue explaining. Hope you remember how to do single crochet. For those who don't remember, I'm going to repeat how to do single crochets. So you're going to chain through this point. I'm repeating everything so that everyone can understand. So you're going to chain through, then you yarn over like that. You have two loops on that, then you chain through, then you will chain through, yarn over. You have 2 stitches, you yarn over, then you pull through 2. So you're going to be doing single crochets, yarn over, chain through. You have 2 points, you pull through. So you're going to be doing your single crochets until this point, and you remember when you're at this other end, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and repeat the single crochet. When you reach this other end, you're going to chain 1, then you repeat. You turn your work, then you repeat the single crochet. Let's meet when you have the correct length of your bralette top.